talk it out, just gotta listen up. For your peace of mind, what's gonna be enough? Running out of time, we can't make it up. Am I still gonna be around when I'm waking up? Welcome to the show with the foreman. These thoughts up in my head, they be forming. It's that new show and it's forming. If you ever need some help, then you can tune in. Body, mind, and spirit, know we all gon' need that balance. Everybody struggle, bet you take it as a challenge. Here to get support because we know it take a village. I'm just spreading love when it's real, I know you feel it. Welcome to the show with the foreman. These thoughts up in my head, they be forming. It's that new show and it's forming. If you ever need some help, then you can tune in.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. How's everybody doing today?
Good, blessed. Yeah,
good.
baby, in the house.
Hey,
Yo, I love that intro. That intro I was like, that's pretty good stuff you got going on.
All right. Yes, sir.
What's up?
So we are here one more time. We got a hot topic today. The topic is called Natural Woman versus Cosmetic Enhancements. We are talking to our sisters, amen. And we have a couple of guests today. We have Dr. Pete Donnelly. He's a licensed psychologist. We are so happy to have my brother.
Right,
and we have Sister Deborah. She is a blast from our past, specifically for Pastor Lorenzo and I. She's the one who gave us our start with radio. So we are honored to have her here one more time. So we're going to get right into our show. We're going to ask Pastor Lowe if he would open up with our scripture, our first scripture.
Okay, the first scripture I'll be reading, it'll be coming from Romans 2, and it'll be coming from the ESV version. And and it reads, it said, "Do not be conformed to this world, but be you transformed by the renewing of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, that is good and acceptable."
Amen. And now, Brother Till, you read the next scripture.
Yes, sir. I will be reading from Romans 9:20-21. And it reads, "But who are you, O man, to answer back to God? Will what is molded say to its molder, why have you made me this way?"
Amen.
Oh, I'm sorry. Made me like this. Excuse me.
Amen. So the reason why we selected, the Lord gave us this topic is, one of the things that I've been noticing a lot, especially I work primarily during the day in a high school, and I have two young daughters. I'm seeing more and more pressure where women are considering, cosmetic surgeries to improve themselves, like liposuction, weaves, makeup, Brazilian butt lifts, things of that nature, versus natural looking women. And I just wanted to get an idea as to what are the brothers out there saying. Like I see some brothers say, hey, I like the natural look. Some brothers say I like the BBLs, I like the cosmetically enhanced sisters. So I want to get a feel for what the women are saying, and I'm hoping some of the women will chime in on our channel. Oh, by the way, please, we want you to definitely subscribe to our channel. Hit that like button on our subscribe channel. We really would be honored if you would do that. We're going to go right to our little video here. I'm going to go ahead and hit it. It's a quick little TikTok video. It's about maybe not even a minute long, but it's a brother that's speaking about. I'm gonna let him talk to you guys. Hold on a minute. Here we go.
Those type of women are only going for a certain type of men, because I can tell you right now, we love natural women. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to natural women out there.
I ain't gonna hold you. I used to be Bernice
waits
Burgos,
at the door.
Bernice Burgos, I used to be on her body, but then I found out she had that work. So I can't give that woman the same credit as somebody as that's natural. Because if you could just go to a doctor and give them 40,000 and be like, yo, I want to look like this.
It's not even 40,000.
Whatever.
You're just doing it on a credit card.
If you go anywhere and say, you know what, I want to look like this, I can't give you the same credit because you didn't what you brought that. That's cheating to me. Is Bernice Burgos fine? Yes. What the should I do? Yes. You know what I mean? If you're watching this, you know what I mean? But
What happened? Hold on. What happened? Hold on. It stopped. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I sometimes think that those type of women are only going for a certain type of men. Because I can tell you right now, we love natural women. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out to natural women out there.
I ain't gonna hold you. I used to be Bernice
waits
Burgos.
at the door.
Bernice Burgos, I used to be on her body, but then I found out she had that work. So I can't give that woman the same credit as somebody as that's natural. Because if you could just go to a doctor and give them 40,000 and be like, yo, I want to look like this.
It's not even 40,000 now.
Whatever.
You're just doing it on a credit card.
If you go anywhere and say, you know what, I want to look like this, I can't give you the same credit because you didn't what you brought that. That's cheating to me. Is Bernice Burgos fine? Yes. What the should I do? Yes. You know what I mean? If you're watching this, you know what I mean? But
okay, we're gonna stop. Okay. All right. So let me remove the stream.
I removed it past it.
Okay, good. Okay. So very, very interesting. Thoughts about that quick little video, Pastor what you think about the quick little video?
I mean, the doctor was talking about this before the show, and I was telling him we'll play with it, but we don't want to keep it. You can hear that guy said, "I'll F it," but I ain't gonna give her the same credit as a natural woman. And like, you know, men. I don't want to get scripturally, but the Bible said, when I became a man, I put away childish things. You know, we all loved our Tonka trucks. And we played with it for a moment. Then Tonka trucks wasn't, you know, we went on to men things, right? The big booty, the big, you know, titties or whatever the case, cosmetic, and it's going to catch a man's eye. Listen, I don't know a man personally that it don't catch their eye. But then we got to go into substance, and that's where it's lost.
Amen. Till, go ahead.
What's the question?
No, what did you think of the video before we get into
what
the
did I think about the video? Oh, he's spot on. Come on, you know, I'm going to give it to you straight with fire. Listen, it's nice to look at. It's nice to play with. But at the end of the day, you're not keeping that. Because really, like he said, we're not even in their league. They're not even thinking about us, okay? The average guy, they looking for that 1% dude. They trying to catch his eye. The guy that's making the six figures. That's the guy they're doing it for. They ain't doing it for the average Joe.
Dr. Pete, what say you?
So I feel a little bit differently about it. I'm not really sure that. First of all, I think I've been, you know, a woman, once she catches you, sometimes you think you're gonna let her go. You think you're just gonna get a little piece and let it go, but sometimes the whole being comes forward. And I think what is reflective of is a lot of women feel invisible without these cosmetic enhancements. And it doesn't just stop at their butts or their breasts. But it feels like without this, they're in some ways, and I was talking to Pastor about this before, they're competing with other women. And the social media venue has made it such that they have to, a lot of these celebrities who get all the attention have these enhancements. And it's saying to women, suggesting to them at a conscious level directly, if you don't look like this, you don't have worth. And that's an issue that's hitting women in a deep way, especially women who are struggling with being single and not feeling like they're being overlooked anyway. So they're looking, and I have patients come to me all the time, and they're looking for, what is the answer? Why am I not finding a mate? Why am I being overlooked? And so they're looking for anything that can kind of give them a chance to be seen. And I think what we're kind of saying back to them, and I hope they will hear, is most of us ain't looking for that. Yeah, you know, not in that package. And I tell you, I don't know if you've ever, I don't really frequent strip clubs, and I know you're all pastors here, so you know. But I have gone to bachelor parties and so forth, and if you've ever felt the fake thing, it feels different. And I'm just going to put that out there, like what Reverend Pastor Till say. I'm going to keep it straight. Yeah. So when you touch the real thing, it's like, okay, this is not the same. So I think it may be great for appearance,
Yeah.
but I personally don't like it. I mean, what do you guys think?
Oh well, you know, when I was doing my little research for this broadcast, I was surprised, you know, because a lot of the brothers that I saw video of said the same thing that you're saying.
Now,
They
did you
said,
do the research at the strip club, Pastor?
well, you know what?
I'm just curious about,
You know what's funny though? But like back in the day when I used to go to the strip club, the club I used to go to was called Saints and Sinners, man. So why you messing with me?
So you go for ministry. I get it. It's
Yeah.
ministry.
It's been a minute, but yeah, but the brothers, every brother that was on the videos that I looked, they said, man, it feels different. You know that when they touch a woman that has the cosmetic enhancements, the BBL, they're saying like it feels totally different. So I was like, wow, like this is crazy. But for me, just watching with that little 1 minute video, I was sitting there, and one of the things that struck me about it was um, how the young lady said they've made it so easily accessible now for you. Like it was 40,000, now it's even less, and you can make payments and a credit card and all that. And I'm like, yeah, it's unbelievable what they're doing now.
Yeah.
Sister Devori, what say you? What did you think of the video?
Well, I agree with the brother, you know, that that's not what men is looking for. Okay. What a man is looking for in a woman is a woman being a woman. Mm-hmm. When these women, sisters, try to alter their appearance, that's because real men can tell that these women are not satisfied with themselves. And when a man get ready to choose a mate, he want a woman that's full and complete. Even if she got short hair and big lips, but she's happy with who she is. And then when the sister said $40,000, oh, I'll put it on my credit card. To think that you would be paying for a $40,000 alteration for 40 years. 40 years from now, all that she got done will be over. So that's just a waste. And I heard her say that, I'm like, how ignorant do that sound? But yeah, men will sit and look at pretty women. You know, they'll take you out, or you'll be their showpiece, because that's what it is. You're just a showpiece. Mm-hmm. But when a man really say, I'm going to take me a wife, he's going to get the one that's just natural. Sure herself, knows who she is and where she going. So I agree with the brother.
Mr. Devori, I'm going to stay with you for a minute. I'm going to go to one of the questions. We're going to go a little bit out of order. All right, we're going to talk about cosmetic surgery. So when do you think that cosmetic surgery, whether it's a BBL, liposuction, tummy tuck, whatever, do you think that as a woman, do you think that a woman would consider that doing that? Do you think that they would do it because it increases their chances of getting married, or increases their chances of getting that alpha male that makes that 6 figures? Do you think that's the reason why they do it?
Most of the women that's doing that is not doing it for a husband. They doing it for attention. See, women's like attention. Any kind of way they get it. Just like the brother said, the doctor said earlier, the women is competing against women. They become lovers of themselves. They so in love with themselves that they don't have no room for a man. Some of them is more alpha male than the man is alpha male. And then they build up these bodies, and because they want to attract you guys. They want to play the game with your head, because that's control. They know the big breasts, the big bust, the pretty lips, all this long hair. They know y'all gonna look, and they know they're gonna reel you in. So now they in control, because they think that you think they all that. But when the brothers that's smarter than them and go in for the kill and to show them that that ain't you ain't that, that's why they end up a lot of times committing suicide. A lot of times they commit being on drugs because they realize they spent $40,000 and every man that they laid with, he dogged them out because he saw exactly what she was, a game chaser. So they don't be looking for no husband. But if they get lucky and get one, like you said, 6 figures, then they feel honor scored him with all this body. But you know the 6 figure man, he gonna get tired of after a while too. Cause it's all game. Cause now she gotta fix her butt again. That stuff don't last but a couple of years. Now she gotta fix the lips again. So she need that baller with that money to keep her looking like that. She ain't as concerned with the man. This is all about how she look and what she want. And that's her control. And a lot of men catch it. Some still don't get it. And they get played by these women. These women just want that money to keep them looking like that. A lot of them have a husband at home and got a girlfriend across the street.
Dr.
And that's
P,
real true.
Dr. P, you're a psychologist. What do you think about the
So I do think it's not just about getting a man. I think that there's a number of issues because we also see that there's a good number of women who are having some type of procedure, some type of treatment. What we're really talking about is the pursuit of beauty ideals and how these ideals are being transmitted. And basically, there's a gap between what you think of yourself and what you think you should look like or must look like in order to feel good about yourself. And that gap causes anxiety. It creates a dissatisfaction, a self-hate. And that self-hate, it's painful. And if you already have a predisposition, over time, that self-hate can lead to depression, anxiety, and so forth. And it's fueled again when you feel you can be with a partner and still feel rejected and invisible, particularly as women struggle with these imperceptible beauty ideals, especially as they age. And so different things are occurring in the psyche where they're struggling with these anxieties, feelings of less than. And this becomes, I got to tell you, and I struggle with my body and I've worked out and diet and all that. And it's just hard. And so what if this is all of a sudden becoming a trend that's socially acceptable to go ahead and have this augmentation, these changes, and it's cheap and accessible? It's like, well, go to the gym, struggle with diet, go up and down in my weight, or just go ahead and just get this done 1, 2, 3. That option is extremely appealing to folks. It's hard to deny in a society where everything's a click of a button to say, yeah, you can come in, have a little bit of pain, but you'll look like, a supermodel or a video vixen with the slim thick look. It's really hard to deny. And I think one of the issues that you brought up, Pastor, you said you're doing this in schools, right? Like you're working with, and so you're seeing the energy among young kids. This is becoming the ideal among young women. So think about it. They have years of hating their bodies before they can even get the surgery. And so it makes the option of the surgery something that they almost dream of, which is something that I think should be concerned about.
Pastor Lowe, what do you say? What do you think?
I don't disagree with nothing what no one said, and I really like to take to the issue with the good doctor said. We allow a lot of things to influence us. Before it was social media, it was the TV. TV told us what was beautiful. Right. We can take this back to the '60s. With black men with permanent hair, Malcolm X, and you've ever seen the movie, because the image, we didn't value ourselves and who we was, and we didn't love ourselves, right? So a lot of, and now that social media, we just amplified it. You got Nicki Minaj and all the other ones on there. I can't even think of the woman's name. Y'all know I'm bad with names. That just went through the court case with the rapper who shot her in the foot. But anyway, you got them up there. They doing their WAP video, and and it looks glamorous. It looks this, and then you got the young eyes with the young minds looking at like, oh, that's what. And what I like to really clarify, we're not talking about surgery that you need for medical reasons. We're talking about enhancement surgery, like the doctor said, because you don't feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know, you don't feel beautiful enough. And even when you look in school, right? Like we said, Deborah said, women are in competition with one another. So, there's a lot of women that's naturally got bad bodies. They ain't have no, like in high school, because you in high school. So a girl with flat chest, no butt, looking at the girl getting all attention with the body, and then she's seeing this on Instagram. She like, yo, as soon as I get enough money,
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
There's a
you know,
there's a couple of concerns there, right? Because the reality is, this is the idea that that's what the value is in the body,
Yeah.
and I think that's what we're. I think one of the points when Pastor asked me to come on the show, I was thinking that's an important message to get beyond. Because first, if you get a body that you didn't earn, then that doesn't reflect that you have a great deal of character. I'm not saying you don't have character, but bodies that are earned are basically, that's what the brother was saying in that video. It says something about the work ethic of that human,
Mm.
and that they were in the gym every day doing squats, pushing themselves to their limits. This is more than just, those bodies are reflective of hard work oftentimes, right?
Yeah.
Discipline around their eating, around their diet, not just, shortcuts. So the other thing about beauty that's an illusion, and this is real. There's a lot of studies that show what you initially attract to. You may find yourself attracted to a highly beautiful, highly attractive woman. What they show is over time, all things go to average. So what your perceptions of what was beautiful over time becomes average. And here's the crazy thing: a woman who you might have thought from the beginning was unattractive over time becomes average. So it's always about a regression to the mean. And so what you found so amazing about the fake body, and that's only going to be the initial test of who that person is. You're going to shortly see the quality of their character. I think.
Exactly.
and and as the doctor's saying, it's substance. I remember being in school, it's like college, and Holly Berry was it.
Yeah,
I
she's still
love
it.
me some Holly
She's
Berry.
still it.
And literally, word, I forget what class it was. It was this chick had her hair cut short like Holly Berry. Now I'm married too now, and I was like, oh my God.
It's something
I
special.
was, run from temptation, run from temptation. She looked, she had that skin complexion like Holly Berry. Now I ain't see Holly Berry in person now. Don't get me, I haven't seen her in person, but I don't know if that's makeup or whatever, but that smooth, like light brown skin, you know what I'm saying? And she had that cut and everything, and I was like, But then I started looking at Holly Berry. Holly Berry been married like 3, 4 times.
Yes.
No man want to stay with Holly Berry. So, like what the doctor said, that may catch him, but will it keep him? Because once the character of the person come out, if you got no substance, the big boobs and the $40,000 went to waste. Because you still can't keep a man if you're doing it for a man.
And
If
and the other thing is too, is there's something to be said about a person who can ground themselves in self-love. They're going to have an energy that feeds you in a deeper way. When you partner with a person who's found a way to kind of lower the volume on all this social comparison and media noise, and find a way to value, enrich their being, they're going to have a lot more to offer you. The love, I think, is going to be a lot stronger.
I agree. Till, let me hear what you
And
say.
another thing too, I was going to add to what the doctor was
Okay, go
saying,
ahead. I'm
and what
sorry.
everybody's saying. Another thing that you touched on that's so important is that where and when did this self-hatred arrive?
Yeah.
Most of the time as children. You ugly. You
Yeah.
ain't gonna be nothing. Look at you with your nappy hair.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We as parents can be the worst enemy to our children when we don't teach our children to love who they are, especially our little girls.
Yes.
We as parents got to teach our little girls to be queens when she's 4 and 5 years old. Not conceited,
Fathers.
not conceited,
It's
but
really
to just love herself.
yeah, particularly fathers. And I think when
Go ahead, go ahead. I mean, go ahead, doctor, because that's exactly where I was going.
the show is for men, right? So we're talking about men, and I think to make the subject matter about women and their psychology is a part of it. But I think the other piece is men in our choosing, right? And what are we looking for? What are we distracted by? Are we really judging for the content of character? Are we mistaken? And I think what we're trying to send, I think a part of what I'm hearing a lot of men send to the message to the women is like, don't get consumed with that. Build more of your being, because that piece right there, it may catch them, but like I think Pastor Lowe said, it's not going to keep them. I think it's a really good point.
Till, what do you?
But you got to realize one thing too. I have to debate that in a way because a lot of men ain't in the homes. So we talking about how are we going to change the system, a community of people that's rising up now. We can't deal with what's in the past and what's already happened. We got to start right now. How are we going to correct this?
Well,
we got to teach our boys to be in the home.
But the thing, is this:
we're single mothers.
This is the thing, and I hear you on that, sister. I really do. But this is the thing. And I was just talking to the doctor about this. 54% of, and I'm just saying black men, because we the one that get more stereotyped of not being in the home and leaving our kids and all this other stuff. So more than half of us, more than half, is single without children. We're doing better. We are number one. I'm talking about as a race in taking care of our kids. But the narrative goes, we are the worst, right? So there's a lot of reasons behind what you said. Why this woman has 3 different baby daddies? There's no man in the home. A lot of men, I literally teach my son, you don't shop at the bottom of the barrel. I don't want a woman with kids. Some men do. But if I was single, I wouldn't date a woman with kids. Not because I'm looking down on her because she have kids, because I don't want to deal with another man in my relationship. Everybody, I know I'm not the only man that feels the way I feel. And I say this story all the time. If me and Carla was to break up, we got 4 kids. I don't know how to be a part-time dad. I literally don't know. So she get with another man, he come home from work, I'm in the backyard playing with my son. Every time he come home, him are going to get into an argument like, yo, he here again? He can't, listen, I don't need another man to do anything for my son. Whatever you do is gravy, but you don't got to buy no shoes. You don't got to do nothing. Now, what you do, if you do something, I appreciate it. So, and even if you're going to spank my child, you're going to have to consult me.
Lo, can I jump in with you? Because just to bring it right back here to body image, right? Because we're talking about body image, we're talking about changes in body. I think the thing that you're talking about is kind of like, are men present? Are we really, and I think our presence is extremely important. I think the messages that we got to get out to the brothers is how they're choosing. To choose wisely, because if you choose a woman based on superficial things, that won't keep you in a relationship. And eventually the woman that you chose because of how she looked, rather than who the being that she was, she's not going to be able to be a good parent to your child, but more importantly, a partner to you in your journey. And so I think that's what we have to start thinking is real long term in our choosing of a partner. Is this person going to feed our souls, feed us spiritually rather than just cosmetically and sexually?
And that's substance.
Time out. I got to get Till in, y'all. Hold on, wait. I got to get Till in because I don't.
Yeah.
So now that you raise that point, I'm going to bring Till in on that. Till.
Yes.
What? Because this is one of the questions. Because I want to stay there where Dr. Peter's at. what when you chose when you selected your wife, all right? What was it about her? Was it her cosmetic appearance, or was her natural beauty? What was it that drew you to your wife?
Okay, so what drew me to my wife first was her appearance,
Okay,
because you have to keep it real. Listen,
Right.
men are visual. No man, and I, I straight told, I told it. Listen, no man is gonna go out with somebody that they feel is ugly. Just
right,
not gonna happen unless they're just trying to get some. You understand what I'm saying?
right.
Okay, so what drew me to my wife when I first met her was her beauty,
Yeah.
but then I got to know her and I found out that she actually had a heart of gold.
Yeah.
And that is what enticed me. And that is what furthered my investigation to see if she could actually be the one.
Beauty is some of the worst criteria. It's some of the worst criteria, and we get caught up on it, and people are delusional to think that that's the whole story. First, we're being deceived most of the time. It's not even true beauty what's going on. We're seeing people with with fake this and fake that. You know what I'm
And
saying?
that's what the show's about.
Yep, I
I
love
tell
it. Go ahead, Doc.
women, please, you don't have to wear makeup, babe. I'm like, you are beautiful, perfect, just as you are. And that,
Man,
I think, is an important part of us as men. We have to recognize we're also sending the message that they've got to be something else than what they are. We
mhm.
have to do more affirming of the natural beauty if we want to encourage natural beauty and women to love themselves as they are. We have to send that message more often. I think it's about us
And
and the criteria we make for what a good woman is.
and
I want
I
I
agree, with you, Doc, 10,000%. And that's one of the reasons why we do this show.
Yeah, I love
But
it.
the thing is, the women not listening.
Right.
You just saw a clip, and a woman was in the clip, and the men was trying to tell her, and she was disagreeing.
Yeah,
And I done seen so many shows like that,
yeah,
where the men are trying to tell the woman what they want, and the women are not listening because they think they know what a man wants.
yeah.
Instead, sometimes it's good to be quiet and just listen.
you know
Till,
what,
I'm
Pastor.
sorry,
I you know
stepped
what
on Till.
I
Oh, I'm
Till, was you
sorry.
finished? Till,
Yeah.
was you
Now
finished?
he was
No,
going to say something. I
no, I
stepped
was gonna
on him.
say
I
something.
thought I
I just
stepped
want
on
to jump in real quick, and then I want to make this point. I agree wholeheartedly with what Till just said and what uh, Pastor Lowe said and what Dr. P said. I want to go back for a minute. One of the things that we have got to do, especially with as us, all of us are dads. We got four dads here. We got to really speak into the lives of our daughters, all right,
Yes.
their friends,
Yeah.
because this message is not it's like you said, Lo, it's falling on deaf ears sometimes because the women don't want to hear it. But we got to be. That's why we do the show. We got to be that generation of men. We have to pass the baton and say, look, we got to pass it on to our daughters and to whoever who will hear the message that you are beautiful just the way you are,
Yeah.
the way God made you.
Yeah.
Because I love what you said, Dr. P, at the beginning. Because a lot of times, women, they'll look at themselves and they see this like nothing but darkness with
Yes.
they see this negative image.
Yeah.
All right, and it's so much harder now. I guess I'm not a female, but I'm being told it's so much harder for them to find a mate. There's competition. We've been seeing the last Dr. Pete, the last couple of months now. We've been doing shows where we're coming up against toxic masculinity, where
Yeah.
we did a show where a woman basically said that she wanted to sisters to abort
abort. And
male
she was a psychiatrist. Abort
male
male babies
babies.
because we don't do nothing for the community.
Right. So we're seeing all this negative, like negative feedback coming across, and I'm sitting here saying, like, what do we have to do? Is we really have to say to our young people that you are beautiful, that you are loved, that you are beautiful, that in the skin that God made you, and we
Right.
have to reinforce it. And I know for me, one of the very first, like I love what Till said. when I first saw my wife, I saw my wife in high school. All right, I was dating another chick, but I saw her in high school, and I was like, wow. I said, this woman is beautiful. My wife has a natural beauty that like the physical beauty drew me to her. But as like Till said, when I got to know her more intimately as a person, I was like, wow, she's all that in a bag of chips. I gotta get with her. I gotta draw closer to this young lady because I saw God, I saw Christ in her, and I say, but she's also beautiful too. Both inside and outside. And I think what's happening is you're seeing a rush of women, not just black women, but women in general. Remember what's that show? The Kardashians. They went out. Everybody started following the Kardashians, like the big lips and the long hair and the big booties, whatever. But the sisters had a lock on the big booties all the time. I see women trying to recreate themselves like the sisters always had big butts, like like we was talking about before the show started. So I think what we have to do is we need to talk about to our young people, especially our young women, that you are beautiful. We need to pass it down, let them know who they really are, to get that spirit of rejection, that spirit of depression away from them.
And what you the bounce on what you saying, Pastor, you know, and I think Sister Deborah said it. I think everybody said it to a certain degree. Is that it's the inner, like the Bible says that that you are beautifully and wonderfully made,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but we don't see that. And there's numerous reasons. Sister Deborah brought up the one where parents I mean me and Till where we was in walking down the street and this young lady talking to her little son and said, "Stop acting like a bee," calling him a bee.
Yeah, unhealthy. Yeah.
It's like what are you putting into? How are you framing his mind? Right? And so, what is beauty? You know, I think everybody, even women, what Till said, they're not dating you if they don't think you're attractive. Now, I think women more than men, because they look at the finance first. Most women, I ain't talking about all women, y'all. but they look at your providing skills, right? Men, like Till said, we're visual. Right? You know, whoa, she's sexy, right? Then it comes to the substance, to see if there's substance, right? So goes back to the thing that I keep preaching is that you need to find out what a man wants. Because doctor, he has what do women say? Preferences.
Mm-hmm.
You have certain preferences. I have certain preferences. We talking about outer and inner,
Yeah.
right? Because he may like thick chick. I may like skinny chicks, you know, but then the inner comes, you know. He looking I wanted a woman to exemplify womanhood. I didn't want no loud woman. And anybody that know my wife, you could be in the room with her and you'd be like, what did you say? Because she talked very always like this. Always. She's even when she mad, she's not getting like this. Now me, I'm a loud talker. Everybody know that, right? I'm this exciting talker, but I don't want a woman to be that to me. I don't want a woman to match my energy on that. I want her to get her point across. I need an independent woman,
I think
right?
I think too,
Go
Logan.
ahead.
There's a lot of guys, and this is important for us to look at us critically. There's a lot of men, especially if you get to a certain status, they think they're competing against other men with regard to the trophy on their arm. And so this
Yes.
trophy wife thing is a real thing, and it's also being passed down into women's standards and need
Yes.
pressure to conform to a certain beauty ideal. And so men, I have the question, right? If that is what a man is valuing, right? He's missing. There's something about his self-esteem that he's missing. I remember when I was a young man, there was a time when I used to just, when I had my heart broken and I started to womanize a bit, just kind of going through women a little bit. And I found myself feeling extremely empty. And I caught myself into this thing where I was like, I'm not being fulfilled by these relationships. And I was able to look at and say, this is a reflection. I'm trying, by choosing these women or having these sexual escapades, I'm trying to fulfill some injury in my ego. I'm trying to gain a sense of self-worth through superficial means, whether it's sex or through grabbing, getting back, as we used to say back in the day, bagging beautiful women, right? So when you know, like this whole notion of a notch on a belt, man, we're suffering from self-esteem where we want other people to see what are the treasures that we can attain. And we're missing that. That's not actually a good testament of treasure. If you really want to attain the treasure, she may not look good at all. She just has a substance to her that's actually going to build an empire. She's got an empire mentality. And I think a lot of times we have to rethink that. I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
Listen, I just was counseling a couple. Go ahead, Till.
Go ahead, Till.
We don't want to dominate. Go ahead, Till.
All right. To get back to the original question, the other part that I was going to say, could you repeat the question again? That we're actually supposed to be talking about.
He asked you, Till, when you met your wife, what attracted you? The beauty, and then you said beauty, and
right.
That's why, and I was saying I stepped on you. Well,
right.
Doctor was talking, then I stepped
on
you.
Yeah, he wanted me to pick up off of what Dr. Pete said, but that was unless we finished, because I never really got to answer the other question.
That's what I'm saying. The question was, what attracted you to your wife? And then you said it was the beauty, and then you went, and then the substance is what, and you start talking about investigate, made you want to investigate.
Okay. All right. Never mind. Go ahead.
So go ahead. What were you going to say?
So I think. So unless you tell.
No. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I think this is a real thing about what are we really looking for. What are they looking to be? Are they looking to be, I have to tell you, it is a natural thing to be deeply attracted to gorgeous women. I'm telling you, it happens. I get on Instagram. I make content. I'm at, by the way, Ask Dr. Pete. Follow me, y'all. So I'm at Ask Dr. Pete. And so when I make content that is fueled, and I kind of find myself connecting and commenting, and I always have to force myself to look beyond. I find a lot of times we're so distracted by beauty. A beautiful woman could say a stupid thing and we'll fucking give it attention and energy. We give it energy and attention as if it was a quality substantive statement just because she's gorgeous. And I don't want myself to be fed by futility. I don't want to be fed by that type of. So I force myself to try to pull back from it, not because I'm not naturally drawn to it, but I just don't feel like it feeds me. I feel like it's McDonald's. It's junk food.
To me, it's a growing process, and something that you said earlier, Doc, that you said, hey, when I got hurt and then I became a womanizer. Hurt people hurt people
for a brief period. Don't put me
for a brief period. And most men who are womanizers was hurt,
working out of that injury.
Yeah, and so they working from a hurt state.
For sure.
That most time a woman put them in. Everybody know that first girl you walk through the snow for. You just don't go home, and then she done cheated on you or something, and then snaps on you. Oh, I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna bang all of whatever it was, right? So my point is, hurt people, right? Whether it's woman or man, right? So the thing is, like whatever a woman, most men want a woman, and I was just counseling yesterday, and the guy said, well, I was okay right here. Now I hear this all the time. He was like, and I ain't going to say no names, but he was like, and his fiance come along, and now she like, enhanced him. But he was okay. And I said, listen, I remember when I met my wife, I had a box spring and a mattress in a studio. I was okay.
She made
And you
more.
want to know something? She came in, and I think 2 weeks, she said, oh, we going to get midnight blue. I didn't even know what the color midnight blue was. She's like, we're going to get midnight blue for the bathroom, this, that, and the other. And I literally used you as an example, Till. I said, my boy Till, he bought a house, and he had a big back TV, the TV we bought like 15 years ago. But when his wife came in, and I told him about the time, I remember when I fell on the floor, started crying. When I came in your house, it was all decorated. It looked like a beautiful hotel room. I mean, it was just beautiful. The decorations and everything, they enhance us, and not that they make us, they enhance us, and they bring a quality. So when a woman can bring that and make you substance to your life, the beauty catches you, whatever you're attracted to
Well, let me
as a
ask you.
man.
Let me ask Deborah this. So, but Deborah, do you agree with that? Do you think, like, I kind of see like there's been a shift with, especially amongst the
It's
younger
been a
women.
total shift because to me, and I don't know if I'm older than all of you guys, but I know I'm older. And I've been seeing a lot. I was once that beautiful woman that men ran behind. But the show is about women, about alteration. How could I thought we was gonna be trying to, if any sisters were listening, cause being a woman sitting here listening, it seemed like it's about everybody telling their story about their beautiful wife. But it might be a sister sitting here on this page listening and maybe even thinking about getting that
Mm.
BBL. And
Yeah, but
she's
Sister
confused
Bro, can
right
I
now.
just correct you on something? The reason
Wait a
why we
minute.
bringing
Let
up
me just
our
finish.
wives,
Let me just
no,
say. Let me
I
say.
just need to correct you on something. The reason why we bringing up our wives, you can finish, but the reason why we
No,
bringing
no.
up our
I
wives,
I
because
get
we're
all of
trying to
that,
show them that men want substance.
but that's
We're
not
married.
how you want it from a woman's point of view. That's
See,
not how
that's what
you
I mean,
show another woman.
and that's why y'all
That's
not
why y'all
listening.
got a
You
woman here.
see,
That's
and
not how
that's
you
why y'all
show a woman.
and you're showing why y'all not listening. We're showing the
No,
women.
I'm listening. I
No,
heard everything you said, and
you
everything you
just.
said was beautiful.
I
But
know,
I'm
but I'm saying
saying,
what your last
are we
statement was. You
trying to
said,
help women with the BBL?
yeah, but
That's
no,
not
we,
helping a
we
sister with
changed
the
it to
BBL.
cosmetic. We changed it to cosmetic. But
Pastor Low, I think she makes a good
but
point.
what you said was that we're talking about our beautiful wives, and that's not
And
helping the
that's beautiful,
women.
and I love all the stories.
Just okay. You said we're not helping the women who want cosmetic enhancement
Or
to their
may not
beauty,
want it, or
and
may not want it.
I'm saying to you, you use examples, and we're married, and we're telling, and Pastor asks a question, we're telling them why we married, who we married. It wasn't. None
And
of our wives have
exactly.
cosmetics. None of our wives have. So that where the parallel came in when we started talking about our wives, and we started talking about what
I
men
get
want,
all of that. I get all
what
of that.
men want in
Or do
general.
you want to hear from a woman's? Or you
No,
not
but
listening? Do you want to hear
I'm
from a
just saying. But you
woman's
came
point
in,
of
Pastor
view?
Low, let's give her the
I'm
floor.
going to stand up for
Go
sisters.
ahead. Go
Do
ahead.
you
and
want to
that's the
hear from a
problem.
woman's point
Go,
of view?
Yeah.
Because
go ahead. Go. I'll
I
wait
was
my turn.
talking about,
Go ahead.
I
Go
was,
ahead.
well, I still haven't finished. I keep getting cut off. I'm trying to say, we're going to talk about BBLs, alteration, cosmetics, and all those things that people are doing and more geared to women. And these women are they the one doing it. They the one doing it. How can we help them not make that mistake, not do that? Yeah, I get what each one of y'all saying about your beautiful wives, and I salute each and every one of you. Matter of fact, I know two of y'all wives personally, they are gorgeous. Y'all did good. Y'all did real
Thank
good.
you.
I don't know the other two gentlemen, but I'm saying my concern, and I'm a psychologist too. My concern is how can we interact, counteract the young girls, like brother Pastor Mike said, going to school, round the school, think they got to develop their body, do all that. What? do we put in action to kind of counteract this? Because maybe my son or my daughter is not exemplifying these behaviors, but my neighbors is. So we as women, as adults, spiritual adults, when we see this, just like you said, Pastor Lorenzo, you called the chicks. When a man call a woman a chick, that goes through me. We gotta change our language when we speak of women,
So, sister,
chicken heads,
hold on for a second.
and all these names. We gotta start
One of the things is
pouring into these women, saying decent things to them, so they wanna feel love and be the woman that y'all have talked about.
Let me jump in with you for a second, because I think what
Go right ahead.
What we're talking about, the reason why we're bringing the focus to men for just a minute was because women are not just doing this in a bubble. They're feeling a greater level of attractiveness. They're looking for us, and our choosing has a part of their belief about what they should be doing. So we're talking, and when I bring the conversation back to men about how we choose, what messages are we sending out to women about what we want? And I think that's what Pastor Lowe was talking about. Is like, hey, listen, brothers, we have to start to communicate that we want women of substance. And if you don't know that you want a woman of substance, what we're telling them is, here, let's take this a step further. If you think substance is in beauty, you're going to be unfulfilled in your marriage and in your life. You have to look beyond these.
Correct. And I got that. I got all of that.
You can't expect a woman to say, okay, I'm going to look beyond the superficial. I think we as men, what we need to talk about is our conversation around what kind of values, how are we contributing to these pressures that women are feeling around their beauty and around their body identity. Now, again, I think this is really important. I think it's not, they say, get a goal and you make $1 million. It's not the $1 million. It's what it made of you to make the $1 million. Same thing with body. It's not what it really reflects the character of the being when they actually work and earn. And that's what you want to be drawn to, is a person who has great habits. That's the person who's going to add to your life in a real way that'll make more of you as a man. A lot of times we don't even know what we're looking for in our partner. So as a reality, our relationships, our lives reflect the poor criteria that we have in choosing. We have to change the criteria.
Exactly. But when are we going to stop making it about the beauty that the man wants from the woman and try to start teaching women to learn the beauty that's within themselves? That's how and why women have become so wayward, because they don't love themselves. Yeah. They don't love themselves. I talk with so many women.
Okay, we all
and they're the one that's getting these BBLs and all this alteration, because they trying to, that's how we started out with the conversation. They trying to fix themselves so that you men can love them. Some of them, not all of them. We talked about that. They got different reasons. Some doing it for control. Some doing it to get a man. I get all of that. But I'm a woman. I'm with women. I hear stuff that men don't hear from women. Women are crying out from inside.
Yes.
Because they don't love themselves.
That's right.
This is where you men get to tell these women, when you see a sister in the streets half naked, now tell her, y'all men, baby, sister, you don't have to look like that.
Women don't want to hear that.
But you tell them anyway. But you can't say that. They may not want to hear it. Yeah. But when these young girls is out there, and we talk about the young girls, I get the type of women, I get it. On to my Pastor Mike was talking about it bothers him.
Okay. All right. Well, this is one way that you can do it. And that way is what we was talking about with parenting. Because I know for us, for me, Lorenzo, and I believe Pastor Mike, because I know them. I don't quite know you yet, Dr. Pete. Looking forward to getting to know you more. We spent time with our daughters. We poured into our daughters as fathers. I can tell you a story from me, like that my daughter will tell you that, where I sat down and I spoke to her and I told her how pretty she was, how valuable she was. I sat there and I literally told her, you know why you pretty? Because your daddy pretty. And could nobody else tell her that she wasn't pretty? because I reinforce that. I reinforce her self-confidence
Till, are
in
you her
her.
daddy?
Huh?
Till, no, I'm just trying to get clarification. Okay, got it. I got it.
so so
I'm just playing, Till.
so so these are some of the things that you're talking about, that as far as young women that we're talking about, that we've done personally, and we're
You've done
applying,
that, but what
and,
about the? But your
and we
daughter not getting the BBL, but the little girl next door that's 16
right.
might be
So
getting it
right.
and don't have no father. So what we
Right.
gonna do about her?
So what we do, like we said at the top of the show, is we don't only speak to our daughters, but they have sleepovers. And when their
Bro,
friends come over,
yes.
we
Now that's
engage
awesome.
them.
I
We
like that.
we
That's awesome.
engage them. So so
Exactly. That's
The,
what I'm talking about.
so that's what we want to get across, is that
That's
we,
where I'm
and
coming
that's what we said
from.
at the top of the show, is that
Let's fix
we
the problem.
it,
Let's don't
it,
be a
it,
part of
and
it.
and
it
and
Let's
is
and,
fix
that
it.
and
is that
let's
is that we engage them, so you know, so that
Exactly.
they can
and
talk, and talk to them, and let them know, also. But what I would like to say, following
Exactly.
something that
That's
Dr. Pete
powerful. I like
Dr.
that.
Pete said about the gorgeous woman that says something, stupid. We had a running joke in college, me and Lorenzo, that we didn't want someone that we could spin
no,
around
y'all
and
used to hike on me, talking about
uh,
she pretty, but you can't spin her in the
spin
room, and she
room
couldn't find the
find the
bathroom.
bathroom. So
That's how
we
dumb
didn't
she
want
was.
we
See,
didn't
that's
want
what I'm
to air
talking about. That's
we didn't want an airhead. You know.
it's
So
it's
y'all
so
are saying perfectly
And
everything
can
that I'm thinking and saying. That's what we gotta teach our young
and
men to
and
stop that. We gotta
and
start somewhere because we want the BBLs to stop. We want to say
and
we don't say but 10 girls or 20 girls and tell them, baby, you don't need to get that. Don't do that. That's what we have accomplished. But we
and
laugh and make jokes about
and
it. It's
and
not
and
going
and and
nowhere.
and, and I don't think anybody making a joke per se on
Not
that,
you
but I
guys, not
agree.
y'all. Oh
No, no,
no.
no.
Y'all not doing that. No, not y'all.
Just listen to me on this show. But I know what you're talking about when you say make jokes about it. The reason why we're doing this show is to help women, not really men, because we're really trying to tell women what men want. We literally what you said, we're trying to do on this show. That's why we got the doctor up here. And he's a psychiatrist and he's dealing with the mind and how people think and things of that nature. So he could touch on that avenue. He I believe he said, he can correct me if I'm wrong. He said he sit down with women all the time, and they're coming in and they're talking to him.
I think, Pastor Lowe, I think what I find to be, we're in a society, in a time like no other time in time, where attention is the coin of the land. To be liked, it literally feeds the
Yes.
dopaminergic. The sense of self-esteem is dependent upon how many likes you get. And without the likes, you get a sense of invisibility. So no
Yep.
matter the messages that we tell them, oh, you are beautiful. What I guess what I'm saying is, what I'm saying as a psychologist is, I find that what the problem with those is, it's never enough. You get the likes, but there's never enough likes to actually fill your self-esteem. That's what I learned as a young man through injury. There's never enough women acquisition to actually make me feel good about myself. It was an empty pursuit. So I'm looking for love. I'm looking to feel good about myself, but self-love doesn't occur through likes, although it appears to.
Exactly.
It's a very,
Exactly.
what we call a junk love, or a junk dopamine. Like, it's not really a good source of self-esteem. And so by putting your energy there and putting your hopes there, and spending your putting your being to be about this attention, you're actually missing the substance that will actually make more of your life, that will add to your being in real ways, and in the long-term pursuit of happiness actually feeds your soul. Now, that's a really important message, because it says you think you're getting love and self-love through the likes. You think that attention is going to feed you, but it's actually not going to feed you. It's actually going to be empty and lead you further down the path of self-hate. Now, this is really important.
Exactly. I agree
And
with
So
that
let me
100%.
and most women that I run into, and I said this off air to, I think, the doctor, they want to be married. Even when they say they don't care about marriage, right? If you listen to them long enough, they want a man. They want to be married, right? But why we're not getting married? Why they're not getting married, right? So the thing is, and this is why I keep saying about women listening to men. Listening to men. Like, I gotta listen. We got a running joke, right? About flowers, and like Tiller get his wife some flowers, right? And I mean, one time I said, my wife, I got to Peru and we just got there. My wife like, oh, the flowers, and she'll see Till. So I'm listening to her. Oh, she want flowers. Let me go get her flowers. And men got to listen to when we got to stop the war between men
Exactly.
and women. And we did a show on that. We did a show on that. But the thing is, like when men are talking about us, not y'all, about us, what we like, what we don't like, this, that, and the other. Every man on here said, yeah, it's nice. Doctor done touched some. And he like, it don't even, it doesn't even feel the same, right?
Oh, we got to come back to that part of the show.
Man, y'all done messed me
You
up
know what I'm
now.
saying? Because we don't got that experience yet.
Wait,
But
Pastor Mike said he was in the strip club. Now hold on.
See, wait. Man, my wife can't watch the show. now.
Pastor Mike was in the strip club so long ago,
Yeah.
they wasn't doing BBLs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is, you know, so he goes with his experience saying it doesn't even feel natural, right? And so
Right,
this is
right.
really men talking so women can peep what we're saying, like, oh, well, I don't need that to get a good man like the doctor, a successful man like the doctor. You know, yeah, it may attract him, but will it keep him? Will it keep him? And everybody, even you, me, everybody's talking about substance. And listen, and I literally made the caveat of we're not talking about cosmetic surgery for medical reasons. Like
Right.
a woman had cancer, had to have their breasts taken away because of the cancer, and they're getting cosmetic. We're not touching that. We're touching the desires of women to get this, like what doctor says, for attention.
Yeah.
What kind of attentions are you looking for? Are you looking
And ultimately,
what?
that word, that
Good.
verse that you gave, Romans 12, you capture. It's really important. It says, "Don't conform to the ways of the world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. For then you'll see what God has for you." Right? And I think this is not a little thing, because
It's not.
the
No, no
truth
way.
is saying to you, like, it's easy to get tripped up and distracted about these things, but they're not really of what is what of the mind is where the focus is. Love, even
Exactly.
there's in they talk in psychotherapy about like types of love, and like the initial love that is based on falling in love, that energy, that feeling of oneness that occurs from being connected, and even through great sex, right? Yeah, that's great for the initial ride, but the deeper real thing is really about spiritual growth of yourself and of the other. And that's what that's the essence of a relationship. It's about growth.
Exactly.
And so what you can't be surprised, and I'm saying men or women, if we're distracted and conforming, and then our feelings we're a mess still. I'm never surprised when I don't feel full when I ate junk food. I'm never surprised. Like it talks about in the Bible too, right? Don't be surprised, right? Like whatever happens, recognize you're making choices that are you're building a house on poor foundation.
Superficial choices.
Superficiality is poor foundation. You
Hmm.
can't build a family on these things, and that's the forward thinking that we need to have, and we need to be, talking about for our young men.
So
Men
what
get
I was trying,
attracted. Go
so
ahead,
what I was
Pastor.
trying to say, what I was, well, the point I was trying to make to Deborah was this: is that the shift that I was talking about was that there's so much pressure now for a woman, right, to want to get married, right? So her mindset, because I see this, these sisters are going out, Doc, and they're getting, and Low knows this and Till knows this, our sisters are getting advanced degrees. They're coming out, they're engineers, they're lawyers, they're doctors, whatever. and coming out and they're looking and saying, "Hey, we're brother. Hey, brother, where you at?" The brothers are there, all right, but they're not. So a lot of times the brother may not be on the same economic level or the uh, same status that the sister is looking for, and then the sister saying, "Well, I'm looking for that alpha brother. How do I get there? Or I'm up against this competition, so I have to change my body. I have to enhance my body to get with that brother that's on my level. So what am I supposed to do? Do I do the cosmetic enhancements or do I just go with my natural beauty?"
So here's the
See,
answer, right?
can I say something before you say something, Doc?
Please.
What you said is critical, right, Pastor?
Mm-hmm.
And we did a show on it. Women don't usually date down. Men are date down, but we don't tend. Even the average guy. If you saw Beyonce, you ain't hollering at Beyonce. You know she's millions and you thousands. A rich man would date down. Like that woman ain't his status. He would bring her up. Rarely do the woman bring the man up. Talking about financial. So women, they're when they talk about quality men and like the women you talking about, they're talking about like Till said that 1% that's making $500,000 because they're making $200,000, $100,000. So they want the man to make more than them anyway. So they got it. So the man got to make $300,000, right? So
Mm-hmm.
now your pool is shrinking, but you got really quality men that are making $80,000 that are good substance. I'm talking about, right? It's
I
just
know
like the men looking at beauty.
I know the hypergamy argument, talking about women dating up, is a big argument. But in my experience as a therapist, most women are smarter than that. They're looking for quality men and have been and are really basically put in a position to have to date down because they're outperforming us educationally and career wise. So they're making more money than us in most cases.
That's not what I see on
Which is
every
the nature of
show. And I would like for you to do a show on this, Pat. I'm
yeah,
a doctor,
yeah.
and bring some women. All I'm talking about, they want a man.
Hypergamy
First,
exists.
they talk about the money. He gotta make. I want a man making six figures,
Right.
and you don't even gotta preference it. You just say what type of man you want. The first thing come out of nine, get 10. 9, I'm gonna say I want a man making six figures.
I think that you think about this, right? Whatever bait, your bait is reflective of your being. So whatever bait you put out is reflective of what you want to catch. So if you say, if I put out rims, I'm putting out a certain bait to catch a certain woman. So the woman that I'm looking for, she's not really looking for rims.
And
You
see,
understand?
that
So
I agree with you.
it's really about what is it that you really want, not the bait that we're putting out. Women think that they're baiting men with body. You're
But
not.
that's one of the reasons why they get the BBLs. Can you agree?
Exactly. What kind of man are you baiting who's only looking for your body? You're not going to bait a man who's actually going to love you in a real way. That's the
Exactly.
Mr. Du
Till
Bois, what do
said
you
it.
say about
Till
that?
said it earlier. Till said they're not doing it
That's
for
all true.
us. Remember you said that, Till?
Yeah.
They're not doing it for the average guy. They're doing it for that guy, the guy that got the money. Most of the time, 90% of the time, that's what they're doing it for. They're not trying to attract us per se. They're reaching for the gold ring. And what Pastor said is the women are outdoing us. There's a lot of reasons why the women are outdoing doing us, especially as a black man. There's a lot of layers to that. Lot of
Right,
layers to that. You got
right.
4 successful black men on here right now, right? But when you get into the minutia of it, there's a lot of reasons. And then that goes into systematic things that are happening. It's always destroy the head. Destroy the head. If you're going to attack anything, you destroy the head. You destroy the black man. I'm just talking in general, black man. You take the black man out. Like Deborah said about black men not being in the house. That's why I didn't really want to get into it, because it takes us down a path of the welfare system. We can all kinds of things, slavery. We can go down this path of talking. Now it becomes the mentor of the black man is not stay at home. A lot of them, not all of them, but not stay at home because it's like a generational curse now, right? To a lot of black men, right? I grew around, nobody on my block had a father in the house. Not one. There was no mother, father. And I literally said, I gotta be different. I had to break a mold. So you know, and the thing, like I said, with my daughter, and we had our daughters on the show. Do y'all remember? And y'all remember, I said to y'all, I think I raised my daughter to a point where she may not get a man.
I know.
Because I put her bar so high that she's maybe overlooking a good man. And what did my daughter say? Did I prep her to say it? I'm gonna make a lot of money. I think I'm gonna make a lot of money. She's beautiful, but I'm gonna make a lot of money, and I'll probably just be me.
See, one of the limitations. There's a lot of research that looks at one of the limitations about beauty is beauty, and this is what I was saying. Beauty can sometimes stop you from enhancing your being because you don't have to. That's the power of beauty. It makes you have voice when you really ain't saying nothing.
Right.
That's the power of beauty. Beauty is a gift and a curse because in some ways, people are coming at, for example, for a beautiful woman, men are coming at this person and they're receiving so much attention and effort to acquire. They become defensive. They don't even know how to deal with people. You know, you ever hear that song, "You make an ugly woman your wife," right? Have a happy life, right? Because the reality is, and I'm not saying she has to be ugly because my wife is beautiful to me, right? I love her. But the reality is, over time, by all normal standards of beauty, your partner's aging. My wife just turned 50. She, with time, the standards of beauty, she's not young, so I have to be looking for more than just this superficial connection because that stuff fades. And to invest in your entire life and family onto these pillars. Again, I keep saying it over and over again because it's important. I think women oftentimes you don't have to develop your whole being if you're just beautiful. So a lot of times it's an illusion of the kindest, prettiest women. Go ahead, Till.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right because when you're beautiful, everything is given to you on a silver platter.
Yeah.
Right. And one of the things I wanted to bring out
And
also too,
sometimes jobs.
yeah,
That's right.
going back to what you were saying, what we was talking about a little bit earlier is that some women are doing the cosmetic stuff for money.
Oh yeah.
You have these things like fan only
OnlyFans.
and and stuff like that. They're becoming Instagram rich.
That's right. That's real.
They're becoming Instagram rich. And they know that they're going to become this. Why? By doing these things, it's going to attract the men, and that the men are going to spend the money. So it's the opposite kind of what men kind of do, right?
Right.
Doc, you don't know me well, but I always have the running joke. I'm 5 feet, but when I stand on my wallet, I'm 6 foot.
Hey, let's go.
Okay.
So, a foot of wealth. I like that.
A foot of wealth. There you go. Right. So and that's our running joke. But now you take the women and they're getting the cosmetic stuff done, and what they're seeing is, for some of them, financial freedom.
That's real.
Yeah.
I mean,
Go ahead.
right.
That's a real good point right there.
Right.
That's a real good point.
Right.
Survival.
Right, exactly. So survival, because they don't have to depend on any man. They can buy whatever they want to buy.
Yeah.
They can get whatever they want to get, and they don't have to think twice about it. Why? Because they know their beauty and their look will obtain it for them. It's like you said, it's the ultimate shortcut.
And what you said, Till, to piggyback on what you said, I want to ask Deborah a question because she's the only woman, but I need to piggyback on something you said about the beauty and a lot of them doing it to make money. And remember, I said I got a relative doing it now, Remember, I said that
Oh,
early.
I didn't. I didn't
Yeah,
hear you.
I don't know if you was on. I was talking to the doctor. Maybe the pastor
Oh.
was on. But the thing is, like Pastor said, there's a lot of women who are educated making that money. They ain't doing it that way, right?
Yes.
My daughter got a college education and this, that, and the other. She's beautiful. She had no plastic surgery or whatever. But then you got those segments that you're talking about, right? So what I want to ask Deborah is Deborah is this. Deborah, what do you think men can say or do that the women will listen to us?
Mm, that's a good question.
I feel I'm almost 70 years old. So I done heard a lot, seen a lot, experienced a lot. If I could tell a brother, if he got a common relationship with any woman, to let that woman re-examine herself. You know how I learned?
Mm,
Because I had to learn to re-examine myself. Find out what I wanted with my life. That I didn't need to wear wigs and weave hair and all of that to be attracted to a man. To be natural, be myself. And I had to come into that. Well, and if you could teach women anything, teach women, especially our sisters, because they don't love themselves no more. I go on social media all day ministering to people, telling the sister, you don't need to wear this. Don't take that off, honey. Because I got to be the mother.
I don't
I
know.
got to be held accountable for that.
I don't know if they.
Because we don't care about them listening, as long as I tell them.
Yeah,
Because we know in Christianity,
so the
one plant the seed, one gonna water, and God gonna do the increase.
yeah.
And because my faith is so strong in God that I know if I just say it to another sister or even a brother. I saw some brothers laughing at some women that were dressed like, you know how they dress, like y'all was saying, all of that. And they laughing at them, hey baby, all that. I went up to the brothers and said, that was your opportunity to tell them little sisters that's going down the street, y'all don't need to look like that. They might have said some ugly word, kiss my eye, all that, but I guarantee you it penetrated it.
See, that's
It
not
stuck,
worth it to me. That's not worth it to me.
you know,
I don't
you
want to
know.
go through all that. And I think that's
But
another.
it may not be working for you,
If you really
but
want to
it's
hear,
got to start somewhere.
but that's the
It's
thing.
got to start somewhere.
Even
You
just
you
talking,
say you're a psychologist, you're a doctor, right?
you don't even
You
want.
talk to women all day.
You don't even
You
want
talk
to.
to women all day, right?
I got to tell you,
When you
people pay.
Let me hear his answer.
People pay me to hear me, and if you're not paying, you ain't listening. I people who pay me struggle to take in feedback. I'm just trying to tell you, there is something about our society. This is just a statement and observation. We're struggling to have quality standards of living. We're putting our focus. We're eating things that don't feed us. We're reading things that don't feed our souls. We're living and moving away from divine principles. We're devolving in some ways, and this beauty is just one more notion of looking for gaining a false sense of self-esteem. And I think we're really
but
in
do
trouble.
every one of your clients that pay you 500, whatever they pay you,
I wish
every
that
one of them coming there. I don't know what they pay you, but I'm just saying your client,
from your
because you
mouth
get
to God,
paid. You get paid for what you do.
right?
So when your client come in that office, whatever you tell them, I know all of them don't go do it. Because I have sat on the couch and I have sat
That's
people
right.
on my couch.
That's right. That's
But
Right.
Well,
but I'm not gonna miss an opportunity to tell a
listen,
young child, a
this,
sister, or a brother when I see they going astray. That's the
this,
point I'm telling. We gotta take
and
back our own community. We gotta
and I
stop putting it
agree,
in the hands of other people. That's all
and
I'm
I
saying.
agree, I
We
agree.
gotta
But
start somewhere,
That's what happened to me.
taking back our
what
community, one person at a time.
I want to thank you
Whether
all.
you get paid or not, because God is going to hold you responsible for
Amen.
Well,
when
listen,
we come into the presence of air and we walk away and act like it doesn't count because we're not getting paid. Let me tell you something.
listen.
We're going to be held
Wait,
accountable
wait,
for it.
wait, wait, wait.
Because that bothers me when
Wait,
people
wait,
say,
wait, wait,
I
wait, wait,
can't
wait,
help
wait,
you.
wait, wait, wait,
I'm
wait.
not
Can I,
getting
can I,
paid. Come on.
let me
Come
just say
on.
something.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
He was just pointing out a point
But
that
he's a
wait,
accountable.
listen,
But
Sister Deborah,
everybody that comes
we
and
got
sit
we
on
got to
this
be able to
couch,
talk together. We see, and this is what I'm talking
everybody,
about with women. We
honestly,
got
you know what?
listen,
I
Sister
sit
Deborah.
here and listen, and I
Okay,
listen, and I listen.
I'm just
Invite me
saying,
on the
Sister
show,
Deborah,
and I'm going to tell the truth. I'm not going to
Sister
sugarcoat it.
Deborah.
We as
Anybody
black
that know me,
people,
anybody,
we've got
wait,
to
wait.
stop thinking that
Well,
I'm bigger and better than
we're
them.
not in
I don't have
disagreement,
time for
but
that.
you're not.
I don't
See
care
what I'm
who you
saying?
is. You can be the
Listen,
president of the United States. Air is
wait.
air. You
Wait,
cannot,
I
you
asked this.
cannot
Wait,
continue to go through a community
he,
of black people and act like that's not my responsibility. I will fight that all day long. It is your responsibility.
wait,
It's your responsibility.
What I
It's my
listen.
That's
responsibility.
not what I said.
I
So it
think
matters.
listen. I think, and I don't know the brother.
Truth. Tell the
Wait,
truth.
let me finish. Just let me finish the statement. That's another reason why this
Like women,
this
go
fight
back to the
between
women.
women and men. This fight between.
This is not about,
Listen, I
this is
don't know the
community.
brother. Listen, just
This
listen to
is
the
not
statement.
this is
Listen to
not man and
this.
woman.
I
This is
don't know the brother,
community.
but my brother, correct me if I'm wrong. Before you, he became a psychiatrist to help people.
Their mind is sick.
Wait.
They think that all
Just
of
hear
this,
me out. Hear my point, because I want him to answer it because I'm not him, and I'm making a statement. Did you become a psychiatrist to help people?
For sure. And
So go ahead.
just for the record, that wasn't what I said. I sew. It is not my business what if it I'm just a good sewer, so I keep sewing. But what I'm saying is, it often feels like it's not received. And even when you sew, and I'm sewing this hour and a half here for free, Sister Deborah. As a matter
oh
of
my
fact,
God. And what do you think I was on to? I'm a pastor. I have a church. I'm not being paid for this. I will come every day.
stop here.
They can tell me to come next Sunday. I'll come for free again.
I'm going to
I
stop.
don't want no money.
I think my
I don't want no money.
Okay. Listen,
that you're
listen.
That's what's wrong with our people.
We
Y'all get
going
one
areas.
degree and
We got it.
temperature, and you
We
think,
going.
wow, guys, I don't care who you
We
is.
going areas
You don't
where
want me
it's
back
not
on the
being
show, don't
constructive.
invite me.
Yeah.
I'm telling the truth. I ain't gonna
Okay.
sit and listen to people put people
I
down.
believe
Just putting people down.
everybody on here
I
is
ain't not
telling the
helping
truth,
nobody.
but we have to learn to
Come
listen.
on.
But look,
Down. You're being out.
we getting ready to end the show.
That is so out of
But
order. I'm ashamed of you, black man. I'm
let me finish.
ashamed of you, black man.
Listen. We getting ready to end the show. But I just have to bring it together, y'all. So give me 3 minutes. The reason why I asked the sister, because she's the only sister that came on, and you made a statement, hey, of what. So I'm asking you. I had asked you what do you think we can do as black men? Because every man on here and other men that I know, we tried to tell the women, right? And even that's I said this show.
Dynamic. Let's keep it a buck. This is exactly the dynamic that you experience. You try to talk to a woman, and this is what you get back. So it's not every woman, but I'm just saying, when you don't want to hear, people want to hear what they want to hear. If you don't want to hear me, you will go on and on and on and make up a whole story about what I said that I didn't even say. So I get
You
it.
did say it. You did say
What I
it.
said is,
You said you don't have time to keep talking over and over to people that they not listening to you.
are going
So
to
you're not going to bother to tell them.
believe.
You did say that.
Yes, and that is not
Okay, listen. The Bible, the Bible even said at some point you gotta kick the dust. You gotta kick the dust off your shoes. Like if you keep talking to a brick wall, like you said, Sister Deborah, you planted the seed. Somebody else probably got to water. So that's my job. I'm done. If they're not listening to me,
is more so to
That's
speak.
not your
The
responsibility. You
reason
did
why
your
I
part.
came on the show is to speak to men about how we choose our criteria and what we are looking at among women,
Right.
about women, and how we select. And hopefully that will influence women, because I believe we're connected. But I don't
Right.
really think that it's men's role to talk about, necessarily to tell women how they should be in terms of their well-being. They often won't listen.
I agree with you 100%.
And so,
Now, I got you on that one.
so my energy,
Doctor, I got your back on that one.
so my
100%.
So my energy is to tell men to be conscious of their choices and where they're choosing from. A lot of times we're choosing these things and we're distracted by these superficial measures of beauty, but it really doesn't add to our life. And I think that's
Amen.
particularly
I like that. That's real true.
I
Real
love
true.
I love what you said, Pastor Lowe, about what we about what we instill in our children and in our wives. And I think as men, it's our constant duty. And I think I struggle with my own body self-esteem. I struggle with my own appearance, as I'm aging, and particularly like I'm not the man I was when I was 28, right? In terms of how I look on the surface, but I'm 10 times the man in terms of my soul. And so I keep trying to instill that love, that affirmation in my partner and in my daughter, to try to make, and in the community,
Beautiful.
and women I come into contact with. But it's really, I think, also about us changing our criteria as men and starting to say to, like, out loud, like we're doing in this show, that ain't doing it for us. Those enhancements.
Now that's real truth right there. That's real truth. I get you on that. I got you on that.
Improve your
Got
philosophy.
to start speaking out.
We
We done been quiet too long, doctor. Doctor, we done been quiet too long. It's time now. We've got to stand up. We've got to stop sugarcoating this thing. If we're going to turn our community back around and try with our new children, all these beautiful young girls and young men's coming up, when are we going to, as the seniors, the elders of this generation, to turn this around? We got to speak out. That's all we got as a voice. Right. That's all we got. When you see error, step on it, speak on it. Don't
but only thing that we're saying is that we can speak out, but like you said, they have to be the ones to receive it, and
right.
We do,
but do your part.
We speak out, but they have to receive it. So that's why we're
speak
here
out.
to mentor men, and we've been mentoring men. We've been trying to change the format of men and give them a way of being receptive to the things that they need to be. But
amen. I love y'all show.
It's going to be resistance.
It's always going to be resistance.
It's always going to be
always going to be that. But
right?
see, I was trying to come from the place where to tell men how they can come at the woman. The woman, y'all was so right. Woman is she's got to get it together in order for our community to survive.
We can sit here and we can debate back and forth, but the bottom line is this: we only can say what we can say. The individual is going to do.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I want.
Based
That's
on
all I
their
ask.
Motivation. And
speak
the thing
out.
Is, but the thing is this: but you can't make us.
You can't make the horse drink the water.
Exactly,
you can't make them drink it.
Responsible.
Like and you're so right. I get everything y'all saying. I love each and every one of you brothers. Y'all brought some very strong points. I'm going to continue to watch your show because I'm feeling in love with it. I love when iron sharpen irons. I am the woman. I am that sister that will not sit back and settle for a lie. I'm going to live the lie too long. I'm going to walk in the feet of a lie. I'm going to did that. I'm going to be the one. They don't never have to listen to me. But I'm the one that will come and I will speak truth. Amen. And if it's received, it is. If it's not, it's not. Everybody on here brought strong points. Yeah. I'm truly going to share this show. I'm going to invite more people that I know to it so y'all can get a bigger audience. Because men truly need to hear this show so they can be the brothers, like you said. Go home, back home and help raise your daughter so she don't be getting the BBL. Like you said, you told your baby, you don't need that. Love yourself. So I admire each and every one. Thank y'all for inviting me.
I want to thank Pastor computer is messing up. But I want to thank my brother, the doctor, the great Dr. Pete.
you.
And could you shout out your podcast one more time for
Yeah,
us?
Tripping with Dr. Pete on YouTube. You can check me out on YouTube. It's Tripping with Dr. Pete. But ask Dr. Pete on Instagram.
What is it? Ask Dr. Pete.
ASK.
You said ask Dr. Pete.
Yes,
Yeah,
ask Dr. Pete
All
on
right, I'm gonna go
Instagram.
on there and find it.
Everybody that's listening to the podcast now, they're gonna listen to it later. Go to Ask Dr. Pete. That brother dropped some knowledge on us today. I enjoyed you so much, my brother. Sister Deborah. Hey, listen. Hey, you started me and Pastor. We got so much love for you. I can't even describe. Listen, as we always
I love
say,
you guys.
listen.
I do.
Hey,
I do.
we love
I love Brother
everybody,
Till. I just
but
met him.
God loves
Dr.
you
but
more.
Thank
God loves you more. And everybody have
Thank
a
you.
peace and blessful day. We out.
We out.